Hey guys, my name is Alex and welcome to my channel. Many of you have probably heard about what it's like being gay in Eastern Europe, with all the craziness that's going on in Russia at the moment, with their gay propaganda ban, which was implemented in 2013, which bans holding gay prides, speaking publicly about gay rights, and equaling gay and straight relationships, in fact. Obviously, I won't surprise you by saying that being an LGBTQ plus community member in Eastern Ukraine is quite tough in comparison to what people in the Western world, for example, experience. In all the post-USSR countries, society's attitudes towards gay people is majorly negative. And from being in Ukraine at the moment and seeing how it is here, the situation isn't improving as much as I would like it to. Recently I watched two different videos. One of them is a social experiment in Moscow where two guys hold hands and they walk in the center of Moscow, in the central streets of Moscow.
Мы решили проверить, как люди в России, у нас в Москве, отнесутся к однополым отношениям. Для этого мы установили скрытую камеру в рюкзак и собираемся осуществить часовую прогулку по городу.
The other one is where a girl takes on an LGBT flag and goes around the streets and shopping malls in Almaty, which is a city in Kazakhstan. Although Kazakhstan is in Asia, it is still a post-USSR country, and I was deeply shocked and pleased actually at the same time to see that the situation in Moscow and the situation in Almaty was absolutely different. Instead of bullying and swearing at girl in Almaty, which happened to guys in Moscow, people came up to them. They greeted them. There were even two young guys who called her and said, "Young lady, thank you so much for defending our rights." According to Pew Research Center and their study made in 2013, 74% of people in Russia believe that homosexuality should not be accepted by the society, whereas in Poland, which I will remind you is also a post-USSR country, this figure is only 46%. So given all this data and seeing such a big difference in the countries that only 60 years ago were one big country, you're probably wondering what it's like to be gay for me, being in Ukraine. A couple of months ago I came out to my mom, and let me just tell you, it didn't end very well. She was truly shocked that her son came out to be defected, and she literally told me, "I'm not homophobic, but my son cannot be like this." Then she started talking to me about how dangerous gay anal sex is, which for you out there, ladies and gentlemen, it's not, if done and prepared for correctly. And she also gave me the example of this 40-year-old gay man who got married to another gay man early on in life, and that gay man who he married to dumped him as he was 40, and then he drugged himself to death, slightly hinting that this is what's approximately awaiting for me. Although my mom did not disown me, which unfortunately still is the case in some of the Ukrainian families, I can't live with her anymore. It's very tough, it's very difficult. This topic comes up very often, and recently she told my stepdad, who is very conservative and very traditional, and now literally cannot look them straight in their eyes. And I have to live with them in the same building, in the same house. My siblings, on the other hand, my brother is 16, my two brothers in fact are 16, and my sister is 26 this year. They all said, "It's alright. We don't care. We still love you the way you are, you know, you didn't change a bit. And the only thing is that now we just know more about you." And this is exactly how people should react, and this is exactly what people's reaction should be, because guess what? When a person opens up to you, they feel very vulnerable. They need your help and they need your support. And if you do support them and if you do help them, they will appreciate it. And guess what? If maybe one day you will need help and appreciation, they will help you. They will. Although many people do not like gay people, I personally have never experienced assault on the streets. There was one day where I decided to go out in this cute little top, and I wanted to see what people's reaction would be.
Okay, so I decided to risk it, and because it's like incredibly hot, it's like 30 degrees right now, and it's only like 9 a.m. I decided to go out in this cute little top in Ukraine and see what fucking happens.
And interestingly enough, nobody said anything. There were a couple of people who looked back at me or looked strangely at me as if like, you know, the fuck you doing. But other than that, I didn't really experience anything strange or awkward. You know, talking about all this, what could actually be done to improve this entire situation? Well, unfortunately, governments, they already know what it is that needs to be done. It's very basic, and it's about educating people. It's about making gay people feel okay about who they are and actually teach them to appreciate themselves. But unfortunately for governments in Eastern Europe, for the non-EU countries, it's just not a priority. And from what I am seeing for the moment right now, it's far from being one. You can do something as an individual, however. You know, you shouldn't be going around screaming, you know, yay, I'm gay, yay, gay, cool. You know, it won't lead you anywhere. You won't prove anything to anyone, unfortunately. And the only thing you'll probably get is a big, fat, good punch in your face. Instead, I think it's much better to perhaps start coming out to those people who you can really trust and you know that they're okay with it, because there still are lots of people who are okay with it. It's just, unfortunately for now, it's not the majority. You can live around those friends and relatives who are okay with it. You can be open about your life to them. And it is very important for us as human beings to be social and for other people, you know, to know about our relationships. Unfortunately, not everyone has this privilege of having great, supportive, quite intelligent, I'd say, friends in Eastern Europe. So the only thing I would suggest is go look up for them. Even in my tiny town, well, not tiny town, but relatively small town in Ukraine, which has only 350k people in it, approximately, we have gay parties held every couple of days. Very hardly any people know about them. Obviously, only people in the community do. But they have different HIV tests and they have different games and activities that can be fun at the same time. It's not just the, you know, the gay club, typical nightclub where people go around and, you know, dance and fuck, I don't know, whatever. It's also about support, you know, and there are lots of groups like that. There are lots of communities in different cities. In some cities bigger than others, but you can definitely find something for yourself. If you search online, because normally those things wouldn't come up online, there are great apps like Grindr and Hornet. Although they're quite, many people say that they're quite sexualized, you can still talk to gay people there, you know. It shows people in the order of distance. So if you find out that there is someone in your city who is on that app, I recommend just talking to them, you know. Maybe they know a bit more about this whole thing that you don't. In fact, Hornet is how I met my current boyfriend, and I'll tell you, he's more than great. Basically, there is one thing I want you to take from this video, is don't be afraid to live the life you want to live. As a person, as a gay person in Ukraine, I can definitely tell you, you can have a boyfriend, you can have great friends around you, you can have an incredible career, and you can be enjoying your life. My personal recommendation is try not to pay attention to those homophobes screaming that gay marriage is an abomination. Instead, try making even the smallest influence in your own, you know, circle, which you can influence. You don't have to be a great YouTuber. You don't have to own your talk show like Ellen does, you know, to be able to impact other people. I changed one of my best friends' opinion about gay people, and I'm sure you can too. Remember though that unfortunately in Eastern Europe, Not everyone can be trusted. You have to be really careful about who you're talking to about these kind of things. If you feel that the person is okay with it, and if you know that the person won't tell anyone, go for it. That's definitely a thing. It will make you feel so much better, and you deserve to live the life you want to live. As always, thank you so much for watching. If you have a friend who you think might need to watch this, send them a link, don't hesitate, it might actually make their day. Thank you very much for watching again. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I wish you all the best.